Hey guys, how is everybody doing? So tonight we got our season finale of Chucky season 3 with episode 8 titled Final Destination, which is obviously a callback to Devon Sawa in Final Destination. It's a pretty good movie too. So, this is a season finale, so there's going to be a lot of payoff and a lot of build up to possibly a fourth season, but we shall see what the future holds and we shall see what USA and Sci-Fi shall do. So, I've reviewed every single episode for this season back in October during the first part and through the month of April and now the beginning of May in this and during this year. So, device to say, I've been enjoying this season a lot more than I did season 2. I've been enjoying it. It has been a better season, so it has been a better season, and I really found myself enjoying it. What do I think of the full season? I was complete. I really enjoyed this season. It was a good season of Chucky. I think it is the second best of all of them, but there's only three so far, so we shall see if my opinion change over time. But yeah, I really enjoyed this season overall. I thought it was pretty great. But focusing on this episode alone. So, the main things I really liked about this episode. The main thing I really liked is seeing Brad Dourif play a version of Charles Lee Ray once again, like he did in episode 7 last week. And seeing the room full of Chuckies, I keep burping. Every time I make a video, I have to fucking burp. But the whole scene where he brings Jake into the theater, where there's like all the different versions of Chucky, where we see the younger version of him, we see the teenager version of him, we see the Fiona Dora version of Chucky, where she is technically young Chucky when he got shot in 1988, but it's Fiona Dora playing it. And of course, you have the old Chucky. Those are the human versions of them. And then you got the doll ones from the past seasons. So you got the Colonel Chucky from season 2, Buff Chucky from season 2, and the Good Chucky from season 2. Jesus, what's with all the season 2 Chuckies? But yeah, I also thought it was cool to see Good Chucky come back for a brief second. He is cute, and Don Mancini kind of hinted at it last 2 years ago with season 2 ending. He's like, oh, maybe we can bring him back, and he did, and it was great to see him because he's so cute. It was a shame that he died though, nonetheless. But yeah, I thought that was great to see him and all the other Chuckies, and I thought it was fun to see them all share the screen together. That was a pretty fun scene. So yeah, that was really cool to see, and I knew they were gonna do this, and I'm glad that they did it. And that was the scene where Brad Dourif as Chucky and Fiona Dourif as Chucky bickered with each other in this episode, where Fiona Dourif, who was playing the younger version of Charles Lee Ray before he got shot, and then of course you got Brad Dourif, who is Charles Lee Ray, and you got those two arguing in one scene, and I knew they were gonna do that. I was hoping they were gonna do that, and they thankfully did. That was a great scene to see with those two. I really, really loved that. That was one of my things that I was really hoping to see. And John Waters, who's a very famous director, and he was also in Seed of Chucky as a uh, photographic guy in Seed of Chucky, where he took pictures of Chucky, you know what, and he comes back to be who is apparently the creator of the Good Guy doll, and we find out his backstory that he unfortunately lost his son when he was 8 years old, and so he started creating dolls. He created Good Guy doll and all these other dolls. So I thought it was cool to see him come back and be the creator of it, and to see him become a villain. I think none of us were surprised by that. So yeah, and the spirit realm stuff, I'm still not really into. I'm sorry, I still can't get into it. What were some other things that I really liked about this? And, wow. The ending of this episode, though. Wow. That's a lot to process. Before I get to that, I want to talk about Jake, being possessed by Chucky, and, a few scenes to where he's in the spirit realm, and then all the other versions of Chucky, distract him. And then Charles Lee Ray, who's played by Brad Dourif, possesses his body as he's in the, coma-ish, or dead, and he possesses him. I feel the guy who plays Jake, I believe his name is Zachary. I think he did a pretty decent job at playing a Chucky. I thought that was pretty cool. That was fun to see him have fun with that, and I thought it was Brad Dourif kind of like ad-libbing his lines a little bit, but then I found out after watching the behind the scenes of this episode, after the episode was over, that that was Zachary himself doing it, and I thought he did a pretty good job trying to sound like Brad Dourif in a way. He did a pretty good job, I feel, and apparently Brad Dourif helped him with that a little bit. So that was pretty cool to see. And another thing I liked about Jake in this episode was him seeing his abusive father from season one, who's played by Devon Sawa, of course, and it was cool to see him reprise that role again, and it was just cool to see Devon Sawa just in general. I like to see those two reconnect, and those two are kind of arguing, and those two kind of forgive each other and show the love that they never did when they were alive together. And it was a pretty emotional scene, I will admit, because Jake kind of forgives his father and realizes that he was kind of the bigger dick in a way because he knew his father was going through things and he just didn't try to help him with it. And there was a pretty emotional scene to see those two connect with each other. So I really liked that scene in this movie, in this episode. That was a pretty emotional scene, and it was a nice scene for Jake, and it was a good development for his character, and it was a nice little thing for him. I felt. Things I just didn't really care for this episode, and I've been talking about it for a few episodes now, and I talked a lot about it when I did my season two review. I've not been liking what they did with Jennifer Tilly, and I told you next week that by the time I sit in this chair, get in front of this camera again, and start talking about the final episode, is that she's gonna be alive somehow. Either she dies and goes to the spirit realm, and then she comes out of it, or something happens or whatever. But I was wrong about the spirit realm thing. Just a cop that she just took over, just came in and saved her. So yeah, that stuff I knew was gonna be coming, and for a while I was just thinking I just wanted her to be dead. But the way this episode ends, I won't spoil it. I won't spoil how her fate ends, but it's just not a big deal. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. How her character ends up in the final episode. Not a big deal at all. So how was your guys' day? And whatever was going on with the one guy that was helping cover up the murders of Chucky and all the deaths in this season when it came to the White House, and he got the lookalike, the twin of the president, to make it look like that he was fine and not dead. Um, Apparently in this episode he wanted to blow up the White House, and I was interested to see, oh, why? But then he dies, and it's like, where was the explanation on that? Why did you want to blow up the White House? Why did you want to kill the president's family? Like, what was going on there? There's literally no explanation there. They did not tell us why he wanted to do it. The one bodyguard tries to stop him and the other people, but he goes, I will make sure this entire family will die, and then he stabs him in the neck. And it's like, well, why did you want to kill them? Can you give me an explanation? We didn't get it. It sucked. And so, yeah, that sucked. And again, with the spirit realm and the weird shit going on. Again, I can't get into it. I tried to this entire season. I tried these last 4 weeks to try to get into it, but I couldn't. I tried, man. I truly tried, but I just couldn't. I tried. But the fate of Jake, Devin, and Lexi, I won't spoil it because it is a huge cliffhanger, and I do want people to watch this episode and watch this season so they know what I'm talking about. But if you did watch the episode, then you know what I'm talking about. I don't like their fate so far. Maybe once we get season four or another movie, whenever we get it, um, whatever we get actually, I want to know what they'll do with them because their fates at the end, I don't really care for it too much because I don't know. Yeah, I just felt their characters just didn't deserve that, and I honestly feel every character should not have a horrible fate at the end of the fucking season. Like, look at Nika at the end of season one. She didn't deserve that. I don't know whose fate didn't deserve it at season two. I think it was like Caroline or some shit. And now this season, they didn't deserve that, and it's not a good choice to do. I don't like that they did that, but maybe I'll change my mind with the next season or next movie, whatever one we get. But yeah, I did not like their fate. It was not very good. And after this episode and after this season and the way this episode ends, I want a season four now. I didn't think I'd hear myself say that at the end of this season. Because last time I wanted another season, that was after season one ended. I was like, yes, we're getting season two. I want it. And then I got it, got my hopes crushed. Didn't want season three that much, but I got it and I enjoyed it. But now, I'm hoping for season 4, but I might get my hopes crushed again because Don Mancini does weird shit with these characters and with this franchise. Please be good to me. But yeah, overall, it was a solid final. I don't think it was a fantastic episode. I don't think it was a fantastic finale, if you would ask me, but it's a solid one. It's a solid episode and it's a solid finale and it's a solid season finale or possible series finale. But if it's a series finale, I don't think it's the greatest. But here's hoping for season 4. But yeah, overall, this entire season alone, it was okay. I enjoyed it a lot more than season 2, and I think that what they did here, I did like it. I did really enjoy it, and and I really enjoyed what they did this season. So overall, good. It's a solid season, and this was a solid episode as well. So, let me know your guys' thoughts on episode 8 of Chucky season 3 down in the comments below, and your thoughts on the whole season alone. So, let me know if you enjoyed it or if you did not like it. And, yeah, it was a fun journey. Hopefully, I get to do it again one more time with season 4, or maybe when a new movie comes out, I'll do more Chucky reviews. We shall see. But if you guys like this video, like it. If you love it, subscribe with bell notifications so you will see more Chucky content like this in the future, hopefully one day. And thank you guys all so much for watching. And of course, I'll see you all in the next video. As once one legend once said, fuck you very much.